All right. Well, here we are. I have no idea where everything's flipped, so don't ask me. I can try and figure it out. Probably not. let's get these links out. Let's Twitter. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome one, welcome all. Hope you can hear me. I think you guys can hear me. I think I'm just kind of quiet, but I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me. Um Hang on, guys. TD. All right. Well, so wasn't the result we're all looking for. Wasn't wasn't the outcome. First and foremost, the Chargers played a really, really offensively dominant game. The defense played out of their mind as well, doing some great things. They let one big play happen. That final drive where they scored the second touchdown to go up 13-10, obviously just ran out of gas. I mean, they were making plays. They let a few runs happen, but they're, bending, not breaking. Jack Boys, shout out to Rashawn Jenkins, shout out to Casey Hayward, both getting interceptions. Yeah, no, it hurts. The refs, see, the thing with the refs is, though, despite the refs, being quote unquote against us, I mean, they were warranted calls, and the Chargers still had a chance to score a touchdown on that drive in particular. Um, I mean, really, what it really comes down to, um, like, is you got to get in the end zone that second time. Eckler, that fumble really cost a lot of momentum. Ty Long, who had done a great job week one, filling in kicking duties for Money Badge, he missed two field goals. Make at least one of those. Oh, excuse me. Make at least one of those, and is tied at least. Um, that's really what it comes down to, execution. I mean, you can't really blame the refs in this one. Yeah. Justin Jackson's touchdown run got called back. Eckler's screen pass got called back. Still could have scored a touchdown on that play despite that, because then the refs gave us one pass interference in the end zone. We got the ball at the one, and then that has to be a touchdown. Like, that has to be a touchdown. Yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of that. Can't execute. Mike Williams was wide open. Yep. And that last interception, what I want to say about that last interception really just comes down to, like, sorry, pardon me, I'm still congested a little bit. That last interception comes down to Phillip Rivers not trusting the kicker. He went for it all. He wanted to win the game, touchdown, end it. He just threw it up for Keenan Allen to go get. Keenan Allen had a great game. Okay, Keenan Allen had a wonderful, wonderful game. Rivers just straight up didn't trust the kicker. He said, F this. Well, not F this. Frick this. Gosh golly darn it. If this deadgum kicker misses another field goal, I'm not going out like this. So he took it on himself to try and win that game. So that's what happened. I mean, I would love to see Money Badge get healthy this week and just end that debacle, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, really, it comes down to that. It really comes down to that execution. Like, that's the only thing, execution. Having said all of that, I'm chilling. I'm 1-1. We're cool. All this, God, excuse me. All that this tells us, and I tweeted it out. All that this tells us is we're not going 19-0. So, no big deal. Fix it, strengthen everything, get everything together, tighten it up. Coach Lynn, Coach Wiz, Coach Bradley, they'll work out the kinks. A lot of good things happen. Like, I think that's why this loss hurts so much, is because the Chargers played so dang well in this game. They played so well in this game, and they only amounted to 10 points and lost by 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Chargers were the better team on the field. They literally shot themselves in the foot at the worst times. Fumble at the goal line, 2 missed field goals. One of those field goals that was what, 3rd and 2, and they couldn't get 2 yards to keep the drive going. Like, a lot of those things are just straight up unacceptable. And it's not even like a it's not even like a there's not a whole lot to be like disappointed in the long run. I get it. Today is very disappointing, but in the long run, there's a lot to be excited about. A lot to be excited about. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me chat. Let me catch up with you. I did my little spiel, my little monologue. Um, uh, um, Shout out to Mike Williams too for coming in because he was a maybe and he had some big catches. He had some big catches. Start Adderley. I mean, maybe Rashawn Jenkins came up with that interception. He did well at free safety. Um, if anything, what they need is they need a corner because Brandon Faison, I mean, he's doing the best he can, but it ain't good enough. You know what I mean? And you know, he had a couple plays. He played better than he did last week. Last week he looked lost in the sauce. This week he looked like he was there. It's just some of those were just good throws and catches. But at the same time, Indy did last week. Lions did it this week. I think the Chargers need to figure out an answer at corner. I don't know if that means, you know, signing somebody. I don't know if that means making a trade somewhere. I don't know what the answer is, but I think they need not having Mike Davis and not having Trevor Williams is really hurting right now. And Rashawn Jenkins is playing well at free safety. It's just he can't cover everything over the top. He like that second touchdown. He went to cover the slot that was coming across the middle. That's what left that side wide open. So it's less of a start Adderley, and I know we're all excited about Adderley and that that half a game he played, the 4th game of the preseason. We want to see more of that, but you know, I don't think that's the answer necessarily. They're hurting at corner, and a free safety can't help on for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Um, Oceanside, no, you gotta stay more positive than that. They care. It's just execution. That's all it is. You saw Eckler getting upset. Like he was very upset at himself. It's not a matter of caring. There's caring. There was effort. There was caring. There was passion. It was just wasn't execution. Online is trash too. Pipkins and Lamp need to start. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Switching things up. It really is the left tackle. The line held up pretty well today. It's just the left tackle, but they played better than they did last week. I will say that. Last interception that I have happened. It's called football. Nas even played. No, Nas hasn't played yet. Rashawn Jenkins played really well today. Came away with an interception. Mike played out the game. Look back in the second half. Trent Scott did good. We were still to go. Offense just wasn't clicking. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So like my main message today, like that I'm just kind of going with, is 1-1. You know what I mean? It's 1-1. You're bound to have a poor game. Obviously, you have a poor game early. You can't doesn't allow you to have a whole lot of poor games late. But it's still it's 1-1. You know, I ain't really tripping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really tripping. Come back, come play Houston. Take care of business at home. Next game, there's a fly in my room again. Next game after that is what's the schedule? Let me pull up the schedule. Hold up. Schedule. I should have this memorized by now. Give me 1 second. At least the quarter. Oh, at Miami. Okay. So your next 2 games, you have to come home. Now the Texans are a pretty decent team. They got some weapons. They can be beat, and you got them at home. You got to take care of the Texans at home. Then you go to Miami. You have to take care of There's no excuse why you should lose to Miami. You know what I mean? Then you come home, play the Broncos. The Broncos ain't nothing exciting. They got some weapons on defense. Flacco is Flacco. You know what that is. You know what they're going to be. And then after that, you got at home against the Steelers, Sunday night game, prime time, under the lights. We'll see what the Steelers do. Or no, they played already today, didn't they? They played at 10 a.m. Yeah, they just lost to the Seahawks. They're 0-2. Seahawks are a good team, though. I wouldn't bet them out. But The Steelers can be beat. The Steelers regressed. The Steelers got worse than what they were last year. And last year, Chargers beat the Steelers. So you need to take you have them. Chargers beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh when they were a better team last year. So you take care of those games, we're good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Broncos are going to give you a challenge, regardless of how good they're playing, regardless of what the record is. Divisional games are divisional games. I mean, hell, Chargers could drop one against the Raiders for whatever oddball reason this year. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a divisional game. Same thing with the Broncos, and the Broncos have had to happen to beat the Chargers at home for whatever reason. So take care of the Texans at home. Dolphins, you there's no excuse. You win that game. Broncos, you can take care of that business at home. Steelers, you could take care of them at home at a 5:20 game, and then at Tennessee, that'll be a tough matchup. But still, if you beat the Colts, you should be able to beat the Titans. You know what I'm saying? The Bears is the one that scares me, not so much because of like how good their team is, just because of the matchup. That pass rush is going to give the Chargers problems. That's the one I kind of fear, like how the Ravens beat the Chargers last year, simply because of defense. They didn't like outscore them. It wasn't a shootout to the end. Straight up, just defense, pass rush gave the offensive line problems. So looking at all of that, bro, like all of that, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, you should be all right. Yeah, the Chiefs are good. And you need, honestly, your best shot is to try and win a division. You don't want to rely on, teams losing to try and win the division. And definitely we saw from last year, you don't want to go and be the second best record in the NFL or tied with one of the best records in the NFL and be a wild card team. It's tough. So they got some work to do. They obviously sucks to drop one because now you got to like hope the Chiefs drop one, and whoever else, for seeding. But we're going to be all right, So Charger fans everywhere. Y'all got to hold your heads up, chin up. Don't get too down on this loss. It's one loss. I know if anyone lives in the Orange County area, I know they're doing like a little meetup around like 8:30, I think 8:30, 9 o'clock. Greet the players when they come back from Detroit. I mean, show them some love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to get behind this team. And I honestly believe they respond next week. They take care of business against the Texans. And it's just, you just got to keep it moving, You can't dwell on one loss. It's 16 games. 16 games. We just played 2 of them. We got 14 more to go. It's one loss, It sucks. It really sucks. It's a loss you shouldn't have taken. You should be 2-0 right now. And now it's like a whole week of, the Chargers aren't the real deal. Oh, they got to take advantage of in Detroit. They're hurting with blah, blah, blah. Oh, Eckler fumbled. Now how bad did they need Melvin Gordon now? All of that's going to start coming this week. I guarantee it. But it's all noise. You know what I'm saying? It's all these people putting out noise, all of that. It's just, you know what I mean? It ain't that. It ain't no thing but a chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me catch up with the chat again. Benji, hey, these are the games that come back and bite you in the end. No, I agree with you. I'm gonna call you nuts and bolts because I know that's your claim to fame. Nuts and bolts. I see you in the chat. I know these are the games where it's like when it comes down to looking at the end of the season, it's like, oh, we should have won this game at this date. That at that time it felt like it wasn't that important, but now it is. I get it. I'm with you on that because you're right. But at the same time, it's like you can't focus in on that on week 2. You can't. It's September still. It's barely halfway through September. You did a lot of football to play. It's just as long as you learn from it. That's all that matters. Who said Padres are ass? They're up and coming. They got a great farm system. Steelers can win 0-3. We once thought we could. I mean, we could. You run no. Blaze that. You run that back. 9 out of 10 times the Chargers win that game. Okay? You run that back 9 out of 10 times the Chargers win that game. That's why it's the NFL. Any given week, anybody can lose, anybody can win. That's why they play the games. That's why you can't just run a simulation. Otherwise, you'd have teams go 16-0 and you'd have teams go 0-16 because this team's supposed to lose to every other team. It just happens. That's football. We dropped one we should have had. It is what it is. Okay, whoever said sit Rivers and let Tyrod play, pump the brakes. That's nah. Trade Gordon for Fitzpatrick. I mean, if it makes sense for both, that's a whole boy for the Dolphins. I mean, if the Dolphins really want a running back that bad and want to pay for one, because you got to remember trades don't work just because they work for our team. Like if the Dolphins are in a point where they're just going to blow it up, trade away all their assets, they're not going to want to trade for expensive talent. They're going to want to literally dump their most talented players for nothing but picks. So we would literally, as a Chargers organization, I don't think they would take Melvin. They would literally we'd have to be like, here's whatever round pick that makes sense for that you guys will take for Fitzpatrick. That's it. It was just an unfortunate game where everything exactly. It just is. So you have them. I also saw a stat. Shout outs to I need a credit. Where is it? Let me find it real quick. Sorry if my keyboard's really loud, by the way. Okay. So quoting a tweet from the good homie Chargers Hype. At what is it? Yeah, at Chargers Hype, Twitter and Instagram. Go follow them. Good stuff. Where is it? Since 2014, Chargers have only won 9 out of 21 games that start at 10 a.m. on the East Coast. That alone, that's a stat like that tells a lot. Like that's literally a stat that basically says not that like, oh, we're basically odds are against us. If it's a 10 a.m. East Coast game, we're gonna lose. But it's a testament. Like it's a lot of people say it. It's not an excuse, but it is tough to go as a West Coast team. Go play the early game on against the East Coast team. It is a challenge. I mean, you're playing 3 hours earlier than you normally do. So just want to throw that out there. Something to keep in mind. It's a lot more than just like, this team versus it's a lot different than just loading up the teams in Madden. Let me put it that way. It's a lot different than that. It's easier to play late than early. Exactly above average gamer. Exactly. There's a lot of factors that are involved. You know what I'm saying? A lot of factors. That face on dude is horrible. Who else do we have that can step up? That's the thing. Face on's in the game. It's Casey Hayward and it's Mike Davis, Trevor Williams. They were battling it out for that cornerback number 2 spot in training camp. Trevor Williams got hurt. Mike Davis was going to be the second corner opposite Casey. Mike Davis got hurt. Faison came in. Faison is 4th in the depth chart at outside corner. That's why we're hurting so bad at that position. Desmond King plays a slot, or not so much a slot, like nickel, I should say. Which, of course, ends up being a slot. Anyways, I don't know if moving Desmond King outside is the move. I don't know. That's why a lot of people are jostling around making a trade for that corner from Miami, because all of Miami's roster wants to just be moved. There's a lot of question marks up in the air, and obviously Tom Telesco, in Telesco we trust. He's going to figure out the best solution for whatever it is that we need to do. Evaluate where it is, where we're at, and maybe he makes a move at corner. I know all of Chargers Nation, including myself, would personally like to see Jalen Ramsey in a Chargers uniform sooner rather than later. I don't know if that's the move. I don't know what you have to give up in order to get Jalen. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Brandon Faison is the 4th string cornerback. That's why he looks the way he does. That's not to say that maybe he can come around, figure it out. I know Mike Davis looked a little lost when he came in and filled in for Trevor Williams last year. And slowly but surely, he got better and better and better each week. Hence why we had that cornerback position battle come training camp this year to who's going to start opposite of Casey. Just sucks. They both got hurt again. So, what are you going to do? Injuries. We struggle in zone coverage. Facts. What up, Joseph? / Hakuna Matata. I'm used to calling you Hakuna Matata from Twitch. So nice hat. Thank you, Mitchell and Ness. They have a pop-up shop at the Citadel Outlets in Los Angeles. Well, going towards Los Angeles. I don't know if it's technically Los Angeles, but Dontrell Inman has been very quiet. I think he's just working his way back into the offense. He did have a nice catch for a first down. I think Keenan was just killing him. That, Rivers obviously wanted to go to Keenan more often than not. Too much so, and that's what cost us at the end of the game. Uh, I'm just waiting for 8:20. I hear you, Joseph. Goose is in the other room actually watching football. Um, I'm wondering if he's going to make an appearance or not. We're going to Buffalo Wild Wings. Me, him, a couple of our other buddies, a couple of our other buddies that are Eagles fans. So should be fun. The Slayer slaying Slay. I know, right? Just sucks that like at the end of the game, Slay ended up getting the game-winning interception, and now it's like, oh, look at me. And it's like, dude, you got toasted the whole game, but you know, we can't really say nothing scoreboard. So couldn't watch the LA Chargers games since it was stupid. Well, NFL streams Reddit. That's how Tanya watches the games. Philip missed. He did. And Keenan was open. He overthrew him 3 times. If Chris Collinsworth were here, he'd tell you that this is because Philip didn't play preseason, and that preseason is important to play, which I think is annoying. But I don't know. We'll see. I think Philip was just pressing a little bit at the end. Philip's drawback. Philip is a great quarterback. Philip is the guy I want quarterbacking my team 10 times out of 10. The problem with Phil is when he starts getting frustrated because the team as a whole isn't playing at its highest potential, he starts to try and do too much. And we saw that a lot number of seasons ago when he had his career high in interceptions. Literally just trying to do too much. It is a bad habit that he has. And it's a drawback of being too competitive, I guess you could say, but not really. I don't know. I'd rather have someone that's too competitive than not competitive enough. I mean, really, it's a matter of him just like, I mean, trying to do too much. Literally trying to do too much. Keenan was his hot receiver. He didn't trust the kicker because he just watched the kicker miss 2 field goals. I'm just going to chuck it deep and throw a prayer for Keenan Allen, and hopefully he's going to figure it out and come down with it because he's my number 1 wide receiver right now. So that's literally the only thing I can really think of that he did that. And then of course those other that he missed, I think it was just too antsy, to just trying to, too much, just too much, just needed to relax, calm down in the pocket a little bit. I think he was just feeling that like this is all me type of thing. And when he gets that all me mentality, he tends to do a little bit too much and he's not relaxed in the zone and just chucking it. When Phillips starts stressing, he tries to help a team. When he does it to the point when he starts to yeah, exactly. No, definitely. And that we've mentioned in the chat, that last play, Mike Williams was wide open over the middle. He could have hit him, but he literally wanted to hit the home run. It's literally like when you play Madden and you know it's a bad decision, but you're like, F it, I'm throwing it deep. I'm going for the touchdown. I don't care. Like, and in the situation that you're in, you just need yards. Literally, even if you don't get the first down, yeah, you just watch your kicker miss 2 field goals. The best play is still, okay, let's hold on to don't turn it over. You know what I mean? Say, just don't turn it over. Even if you don't get the first down, just don't turn it over, and you still get a shot to tie the game. So I know that's not what, obviously myself included. Let's score that touchdown. Let's GG, get out of here, get back on the plane, leave Detroit with the win, not even mess with overtime. But the smart football play, get a completion, even if you don't get the first. I know it's third and forever. At least get the completion and give your kicker a chance to tie the game. That's it. So we'll see. Is Hunter Henry coming back this season? I believe so. I don't know what his exact timetable is. Let me look that up. With the power of Google, I have all the answers in a moment's notice. Hopefully one of you in the chat doesn't beat me to it though. 3 seconds. Bad news. Everyone's fraction was time. Henry's fracture is a kind that cannot be seen on x-rays, so it is hard to place any blame on the medical staff for long. Fracture was likely discovered via MRI. Expected return is a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks, but the team could decide to be safe and use injured reserve with the plan to bring him back. The fact that they put him inactive for today means he won't be on injured reserve. So 4 to 6 weeks is, I mean, Twitter doctor, Google doctor, whatever you want to call it. So we'll see what happens. That was 1 week. So 3 to 5 weeks now going forward. We'll see. I mean, you don't want to rush him back, especially because he already had issues. I don't know if it's the same knee or not. Um, but you don't want to rush him back because I feel like you still get plenty of production in the passing game. Obviously, you got Virgil Green and Sean Colkin to pick up the slack as far as blocking at the tight ends position. Virgil Green had another nice couple catches. Obviously, he's not the route runner nor the downfield catcher that Hunter Henry is, but Keenan Allen was doing well. Mike Williams was doing well. I think Dontrell Inman got one catch. I think he'll get more comfortable in the system. I think he's going to take some reps away from Travis Benjamin because Travis Benjamin literally did nothing today. Like literally did nothing today. I think Dontrell will get more reps as that slot receiver. Well, I say slot, but they end up running everybody out of everywhere. Keenan runs out of the slot. Mike runs out of the slot. They line up all three on one side in bunch. So I think they have enough production to be okay without Hunter for a couple weeks. He will be back probably going into the second half of the season. I mean, second half of the season, you get a lot of guys that are getting healthy. So does Benjamin ever do anything? Let's be real. He has his flashes. His speed and athleticism is insane, but you're right. He's supposed to take the top off the defense. I mean, if anything, he's a decoy. And I mean, I know they restructured his contract, so they're not paying him as much per year. He's not as much of a salary cap hit as he was. If anything, he's really fast, and they tell him, go run in a straight line, take the safety with you, and we're going to hit Keenan Allen or Mike Williams underneath. That's about it. I know they're trying to get creative and use him in some jet sweeps and some different stuff. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much a decoy at this point. He might break open one play and Rivers hits him one play and then he doesn't get a catch for 2 weeks. But I don't know. It is what it is, though. Just ride it out. At the time it was a good signing because he was a deep play threat and he was a dangerous returner. And for whatever reason, when he got to the Chargers, he forgot how to return. Desmond King came in. Now he's a returner. Travis Benjamin I don't know. He just hasn't been the same. We'll see. There's going to be a game where he comes in. He's going to have a couple catches. He's going to have a good game. I don't know when that will be, but it'll happen. But we'll see what happens. I think Inman is going to get a lot more snaps, though. I don't have enough information in front of me to say this is how many snaps Inman played. This is how many snaps Benjamin played. But I will be taking a look at that for sure. Benjamin is always dropping the ball. I mean, last year, he dropped a lot of passes, but we haven't really seen him even get targeted this year. So who knows if it worked out the kinks? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it because Tyrell had the same problem, but then Tyrell started making catches. So, but Travis Benjamin got hurt instead of being able to prove himself. Gators suck, fool. They do. Andre Patton should get some snaps. I agree. I would just say don't get too excited about what you saw in preseason because going against ones is a lot different than going against twos, threes, fours. But yeah, if he can work his way into the offense, why not? But yeah, Inman is on there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Inman is back with the Chargers for a reason. I think it's just like I said, getting back acclimated. Not a whole lot of players literally jump into an offense and just instantly produce. I mean, you have to be like a number 1, number 2 wide receiver. And he's definitely not that, but he's definitely a reliable receiver who can get you a couple catches, get you a catch for a first down every so often, maybe score a touchdown here or there. He's been a reliable target for Phillips, somebody Phillips familiar with. So that's good. It like I said, it's just a matter of getting work back into the system. They need a wide receiver I think they're fine at wideout. Keenan, Mike Will, literally throw whoever you want. Travis Benjamin, Inman, Dre, what is his name? Dre Patterson? Dre Patton. Good Lord, I'm messing up names. This is why going live is dangerous, man. It's easier to edit out your mistakes. But yeah, no, they're fine at receiver. Honestly, it's just execution. It's literally the team, despite injuries, the team still has enough to win. I'm 100% confident. It is not a talent issue, with the exception of cornerback, because Faison's just not the move. Still got to grow and learn. He's not ready yet. With the exception of cornerback, the Chargers have the talent they need to be able to win games, especially until some of their ones come back. Derwin gets healthy at the end of the season. If Hunter Henry's able to get back in a couple weeks, like they'll be able to last. They have the talent to win games. Today literally came down to a matter of execution, and that's it. That's really it. Jerry Tillery, where? I mean, he was out on the field. He wasn't making a whole lot of tackles. That defensive line played well. They played well. They got pushed around in the first half a lot. Kerryon Johnson rushed for a lot of yards, but they definitely improved. I think it's a work in progress. Again, that's why you can't really go off of like Jerry Tillery looked like a beat monster in preseason. He's going up against number one offensive lineman now, so it's a learning curve. So it's literally just get him acclimated, get him in there, get him those first team reps, live action, regular season games that actually matter. Put him in there, put him in those situations. Just keep it going from there. You know what I'm saying? I only saw Tillery when he was flagged. Off topic, but I like the set. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is my live stream setup, by the way. So this is like PC, Xbox down here, PlayStation, all my Funko Pops, Pikachu, my Dizzy jersey, my little Charger dog thing. I also got a light that turns on when I'm on Twitch that changes colors. Actually, I'm gonna leave it on. I should have left that on. Yeah, so this is my Twitch live stream setup, but I use it for live streaming. But like I said, my webcam is flipped. I don't know if it's flipped for you guys, but everything's backwards. So I'm streaming straight through YouTube. Usually I set it up through like a different streaming program, and I just didn't have the time to really set it up. So yeah. Do you really think Eckler can make it week in, week out? I think this will be the start of them using Justin Jackson a little bit more in the offense. And I was, like I said, my buddy Goose is over. He's watching the Rams Saints game in the other room. I was telling him, like, I think this is where Justin Jackson is going to start getting a lot more touches. I think, not saying that Eckler is getting like slowed down or whatever, but I think teams aren't going to be taken by surprise by Eckler, being that he's the number one. I mean, obviously, I don't think anyone really was taken by surprise by him because they know what he's capable of. He's been an offensive threat for, the first 2 seasons that he was with the Chargers. I think it's just more of like, okay, if you're the number one, we kind of know what to expect now versus like when you're the change of pace. And then it's like, you're used to getting beaten down by Melvin Gordon. And all of a sudden you throw a little quick Eckler out there and it's a good change of pace. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, Eckler, in my opinion, because everyone wants to compare Eckler to Sproles or Danny Woodhead or that type of like change of pace back. I think Eckler is like closer to being like a number one running back than those other like change of pace backs. I think he can run between the tackles more so than some of those other smaller backs. But I do think that he will be best in the long run. I think he'll be best suited with like a, change, like not a change of pace, just straight up splitting carries with another back. And Justin Jackson, he's shown he's a dangerous runner too. So they both just, between the two of them, I mean, they should be able to for, like I said, for the longevity of the season, because you can't do the same thing every single week. Teams are going to figure it out eventually. They're going to game plan against it. You need to get creative. You need to, okay, this game, this guy's going to do this, but then this game we're going to, you have your philosophy, you have your game plan, but you can't literally copy paste the exact same formula every single week. You got to figure out a way to win every single week. So just like any other running back, you may have a tremendous season, but there's going to be those 1 or 2 games where you don't have as many rushing yards, or they contain the screens a little bit more than they did last week. You got to be able to figure out how to still be effective. And if that's switching up running backs, to splitting up the workload, I think that's the move. There's going to be another game where Eckler goes off for 2 touchdowns. He has 150 all-purpose yards between rushing and catching. He's going to be the number one, the main guy, getting the majority of the touches the whole game. But I think over the course of the season, and I think that's why Melvin Gordon got hurt last year. I think they overused Melvin Gordon when they had when they had Eckler, especially. And I think, they found out they had Justin Jackson, but maybe if Justin Jackson had gotten some touches, they switched it up a little bit. Maybe Melvin Gordon doesn't get hurt. Obviously, the main thing, Melvin Gordon got hurt on that during that Cardinals game late in the third quarter when he had no business being in that game. So I think just for the sake of longevity, it's just a good idea to switch up players. Is Eckler only successful? I don't think he's only successful. I think Eckler is successful just because he's like quick, fast, changes direction, stops on a dime. He can rush. Like I said, he can run between the tackles and outside and catch passes downfield and like in the flat and the screens. I mean, like I said, week 1, he showed he was that guy. I was mainly just for the sake of any running back. I think you're just better off not being the only one. You know what I'm saying? Gates would be good right now. I agree, but I think that ship has set sail. I don't think they're going to sign Gates for half a season and then cut him, because I honestly think that's what they would do. Excuse me. I don't think they would want to get rid of Culkin or Virgil Green because of what they bring as pass blocking tight ends. And then Virgil Green can still catch passes too. So I don't think they bring in. I think if Hunter Henry was on IR again, like a out for the season type thing, then they bring back Gates. But because Hunter Henry's only going to miss a limited amount of time, I don't think it's like, okay, bring him back because we desperately need another tight end. You know what I'm saying? I was mad about the street. Is Rivers' streak of games with the TD passes out? I mean, streak's a streak, dude. I get it. It sucks, but he still has the, consecutive starts one. He's going to pass Eli next game. So it is what it is, Streaks come and go. I mean, to be fair, he had plenty of opportunities to get a touchdown pass in there and just didn't take advantage of it, Henry is no Gates, that's for sure. Too early to call him, but yeah, but the only thing keeping Henry back is just injuries so far. But he's only been there a handful of seasons. I mean, we'll see what happens. If he comes back in the season and kills it, then all is forgotten, Matchups differ week to week by team. Humberto, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Everything changes, and it's half game planning for that team, half game planning for the matchups, and then half like what adjustments do you make during the game and who do you go with? Who's playing what? Culkin greater than Green. I would like to see Culkin get some more PT. Half because we have Thor on our team and I want to see him play more. But half of like I like the way he can kind of move around downfield. Having said that, he did get a couple opportunities in preseason to make some plays, and he did drop a touchdown pass. And I'm not saying one play defines you. Given that opportunity again, I think he has the talent to be a pass catching tight end as well. But in the NFL, when you're given this many opportunities and you don't cash in, I think that kind of hurt him. So, but he's a tremendous pass blocker, athletic enough to get down the field, especially on like screen plays, block downfield for Eckler and short passing tight end or like crossing route wide receiver pass situations. Let's see. You think Mike Will was worth a first round pick? Definitely. I mean, again, first year is a scratch. He was hurt, couldn't even get in the lineup. Last year had a great year. This year he got hurt week 1, still had a great game this week, playing on a bum knee. He gets healthier next week. I think he'll do even better against Houston. So Keenan Allen is the clear-cut number 1. He has been for a number of years, and that's just because Keenan Allen right now is in the midst of his prime and he's healthy. So Mike Williams this is year 3. He's still got a long way to go. So I think he's definitely worth it. And I think he was very key in a number of games last year, and I think he's gonna really um, have some big plays this year. So without a doubt, I think he was worth the first round pick. God, you see the one play where Rivers threw to him, and literally Mike Williams was able to catch the ball simply for the fact of how big and high he could jump. Like he was just bigger than the DB and just went over the top of. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't coach that. That's just he just won. Like he's just bigger than him. So nah, yeah, definitely worth the pick. The wide receiver between Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really tripping off wide receivers. Inman's gonna do fine. If Travis Benjamin figures it out, cool. If not, I'm cool with going with Inman as that third wide receiver. I mean, he's shown he was the number 2 for the Colts for what last season, the season before. He can play. Like I said, it's just he literally came in like last week of training camp. So um he really just needs to just get acclimated with everything. He had a catch today. I'm sure he'll build off that next week, have another couple catches. Maybe they'll run some plays to him. We'll see what happens. I just something exactly DMX. It's just he's just there's nothing you can do. So I love having him. Um, maybe the Chargers get that first down on 3rd and 2, and when Ty Long ended up missing that field goal on that drive when it was 4th and 2. They get that first down on 3rd and 2. Who's to say they don't go to Mike Williams in the back of the end zone? Just big old tall wide receiver, just throw it up to him. We'll see what happens. Well, like I said, it's week 2. It's week 2. We're 1-1. I know it sucks. Sometimes it's like, oh, these are the ones that hurt because you look at the end of the season, and if we would have won one more game, we would have been in a better situation. Right now, it's week 2. You can't trip too much about it. You know what I'm saying? We were 1-1 last year. Yeah, exactly. We'll be all right. Take care. Looking at next week, come home, take care of business against the Texans. They got some playmakers. They got JJ Watt on that defense, who's scary, but they're not like anything like shockingly good team. They can be won. You got to take care of business at home. Then you go to Miami, right? To Miami. There's no reason they should be losing to the Dolphins. You finish the first quarter of the season 3-1, you're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? And then your next 2 games to start that second quarter of the season, at home against the Broncos, at home against the Steelers. The Broncos game, you have to win. You have to win a division. And then the Steelers game, you can win that too at home. Sunday night, got to take care of business. So I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. We'll be all right. It's just you just got to take care of business the next couple games. Easily, you could finish the first quarter of the season 3-1. Last year, what? They were 2-2. It's an improvement. You know what I'm saying? It's improvement. So we should care more about division games. Exactly. So take care of business the next couple weeks. And that Broncos game to start off quarter 2 of the season, you got to take care of the Broncos. Have to. Houston is stumbling. Then they get the Dolphins. Exactly. We'll be all right. It sucks. I mean, you would love to see this team be 4-0. Easily could have been 4-0. Easily. But, execution. And you already know Coach Lynn is about to tear their asses up. He about to light a fire under everybody. So I ain't really tripping. We're going to be all right. So with that being said, I'm going to start wrapping it up. Let me read through some of the chat. I know I've been trying to acknowledge the chat as much and not just go on my rants. I just kind of go. So it is what it is. But let me see if I miss anything. As far as drafting a future QB, let's see what Easton turns into. Rivers is going to get extended. We'll see how long he gets extended for. I mean, we'll see. Because maybe Easton's not the answer. You draft a QB in like 2 years, not next year, though. Gordon is a greedy dumbass, securing his couch and not the bag. I mean, I've been meaning to make a video about it. Basically, my tease is whether your team Chargers or team Melvin should get paid. Well, team Chargers don't pay him. He should show up, or team Gordon should get paid. Regardless of what side you are, the real thing that failed him, and like I said, I'll make a more in-depth video that explains everything later. Really what's screwing him is the CBA. and the players union for the CBA they negotiated, because you know how they negotiated to where you get drafted determines your contract. Your rookie contract should not last for 4 years with a team option to potentially last 5 years, and then you can get franchise tagged for 2 more years. So the first 7 years of your career. Granted, what the average running back career expectancy is like less than 2 seasons. So if you're drafted in the first round as a running back, a team could essentially control you for 7 years without you ever being able to negotiate your own money. That don't make sense. I'll go into that. That's a future video. I'll go into the detail later, but that's my take on it. Like the short and skinny version. But prepare for a 10-minute, with ad rolls and all that stuff because I'm trying to make money out here. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously. But like I'll go in more depth and explain everything. But like there's a lot that's messed up. Obviously Gordon's representation, it's half Gordon, half his representation saying this is what you should do. It is what it is. We should get a Ajayi and trade for Ramsey. But what do we trade for Ramsey? You know what I'm saying? Like I said at the beginning of the stream, you don't just make trades because they make sense for us. So what's the Jaguars strategy? What are they going to want in return? Like I know someone said, not you guys in the chat right now. I seen a comment or on Twitter or something. We should trade Melvin Gordon for Jalen Ramsey. Why would the Jaguars have Fournette? Why would they trade their best defensive player to get a more crowded backfield and have to pay another running back? That doesn't make sense. If anything, if you're a team like the Jaguars, you get rid of Ramsey for nothing but high draft picks. I mean, just remember Ajayi has history with injury, and that's the whole reason why the Chargers aren't signing Gordon or they aren't giving Gordon the contract he wants because Gordon has history with injury history, whatever you want to. Words are hard, but so why would the Chargers go get another running back? That if anything, the Chargers are better. They're more prepared to trade away Gordon for like a first round pick and like another pick or something like that. But that team has to want to sign Gordon to what he wants. And I don't think there's a team in the league right now that wants to sign Gordon for the money that he wants to get. You know what I'm saying? There's not a team that's desperate enough for a running back that's willing to cave to his terms. That's why the Chargers gave Gordon the ability to go try and search out and negotiate his own contract. They said, all right, you can find a team that's going to sign you for what you want. By all means, good luck. But they have to give us what we want. That's it. That's literally it. And that's why nothing's happened. That's why there's no trade happening. So it has to make sense for team we're trading with. It has to make sense for the Chargers, and it has to make sense for Melvin Gordon. There's not a deal that exists yet that makes all three make sense. How do you feel about Thomas Davis? I mean, I heard nothing but good things about him in the preseason, and then I'm over here seeing him not being able to run sideline to sideline as much. I think half of it though is like he's trying to like make up a play. You know what I'm saying? When he looks at his worst, he's trying to compensate because somebody else wasn't there. Obviously, if Denzel Perriman was in there, I'd feel a lot better. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe they shuffle around some things at linebacker, But thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know I don't know. But you know what I think is most concerning though? On some of the plays that Thomas Davis should have been in there, he over pursued a little bit. The touchdown, for example, that T.Y. Hilton scored week 1. They should have had his ass contained near the line of scrimmage, and they literally overran it. So I don't know. I mean, just like I said, things just need to get cleaned up. It's execution. So I'm not saying Thomas Davis is like, oh, this is why the Panthers let him go. He's done. But they need to clean some stuff up. That's for sure. Henry stays injured. Not smart to keep him. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they do what they did with Denzel Perriman. Because Denzel Perriman is like injury prone too, but they were able to sign him for like not that expensive of a contract. Versus if Denzel had been healthy, like throughout his rookie contract, maybe he gets a fat deal, So we'll see. It's all a negotiation, Maybe, excuse me. Like I said, I'm still congested, so I'm fighting through the congestion. I haven't talked this much in a long time. Um, maybe Hunter Henry gets like a 1 or 2 year cheap prove it deal. If you play this and stay healthy, then you can stick with it. I mean, we'll see. You know, I think, but I think it's too soon to tell because again, we could be sitting here in December and Hunter Henry gets healthy and has a phenomenal showing of receptions and touchdowns. And then we're all thinking, yeah, we need to lock this guy up for years and years and years. So it's too early to tell. That's the theme of the stream. It's too early to tell. It's week 2. We're 1-1. It's not the end of the world. We'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Ramsey would be nice, and I'm team bring Ramsey to the Chargers. You saw my little clickbait video I made back in January. I hope you saw it. If not, go watch it. But I would love Ramsey on the Chargers. Ramsey and Casey, opposite side, Derwin, and literally, I'm cool with Rashawn Jenkins. I like what I'm seeing out of him. But if Nasir Adderley ends up getting the playing time, cool. That's cool as well. So I think it's just it'd be dope, but we'll see if it works, because Ramsey's going to want a lot of money. So I don't know. Tom Telesco knows all. I got faith in him. I'm going to let him do his thing. I do believe we make a move for a corner sooner rather than later in the next week or so. So we'll see. Awesome Zone. I love you. Thank you, bro. Holding penalties. I mean, it is what it is, Yeah, it was ticky-tack. You could even say the one hand on the shoulder that Inman got for that other holding penalty. At the end of the day, the Chargers still Chargers still execution. There's no reason we should be blaming the refs or penalties in this game. Straight up comes down to execution. Both those holding penalties, could have been in the end zone. Eckler still fumbles on the goal line because the Chargers got a penalty back, pass interference in the end zone. So it canceled out. No matter what, the Chargers still still should have scored a touchdown in the end zone in that play. So penalties aren't an excuse. I for one, am not willing to use that as an excuse. They should have won the game. Emin could used to play for us. He can run routes nicely. Yeah, it's just getting back acclimated with the offense. He hasn't been with the team in a year or two. He'll be all right. Wish we got Mosley in free agency. Yeah, well, we went linebacker. So, anyways, are you concerned with Scott? I mean, we're all concerned with Scott. We're all concerned with the left tackle situation. We can't get Russell Okung back soon enough, but obviously, health is way more important, especially with his condition situation. That's more important. But you just got to go with what you work with, I think they're holding up enough. I saw improvements from last game to this game. Next week, like I said, next week's going to be a big test. The Houston's got a lot of good defensive players. They traded Jadeveon Clowney to the Seahawks, but they still got J.J. Watt, the monster. So we'll see how they hold up. Next week will be a good test. I think after next week, if they just fall apart again, you may need to consider making some major changes. But until then, I'm more concerned with the second cornerback situation than I am with the offensive line, to be honest. Always respect. Hey, Wakanda Tech, bro. We'll bounce back against the Dolphins. Yeah, exactly. We'll be all right. That's messed up. Anyways, will you be doing this podcast after? I'm gonna try. I mean, it depends if I go to the game, because if I actually go to the game, it's kind of hard to try and do it like holding my cell phone for like an hour. I meant this little stream to be like 30 minutes, and we're 54 minutes deep now. But if I'm home, like here in my setup, then yes, expect one. I definitely want to. I was on the fence of doing one today again. I don't know if you guys follow me on social media. If you don't, I would really appreciate it. At Dizzy_Huerta. Dizzy, like right here, _ my last name, HUERTA. Both Instagram, Twitter. Keep up with me in between uploads. I also tweet updates when I'm going live, when a new YouTube video uploads, and just random little social media stuff in between games and uploads and videos. So Follow me on social media if you haven't. But I did kind of update on social media that like I got this insane sickness this past week. Like I called out of work 2 days and like it was bad. Like I was hurting. So I'm just getting over it and feeling better. That's why I still sound congested. And like randomly when I'm talking, just as gross as it sounds, it's like phlegm and congestion just kind of interrupts your sentence. Um, but yeah, again, I want to do this as much as possible. I tried to do it last year and I didn't really stay on it enough. So if as long as I'm home in my setup, I'm gonna go live after games. I might go live before games sometimes too, depending if it's a 1 o'clock or not. Obviously, 10 a.m. It's easier to go live after the game because I'm awake. And then I had to go pick up my mom from the airport this morning. So I watched the first half of the game on my phone while driving. I don't recommend ever doing that, kids. Don't do it. But yeah. Do you think the Bolts can beat Houston? Yeah, they can beat Houston. It'll be a good test for the offensive line, but they can beat Houston at home. Not a doubt in my mind. Feel so much better after venting here, lol. I appreciate that. Hey, that's what this is about, man. I'm just trying to. I'm upset too. You know what I'm saying? I'm frustrated too. Should have had that game, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, when you put it all in the grand scheme of things, when you put it in perspective, we're gonna be all right. It sucks, but it is what it is. You know, as long as they learn, just all you can do is you can move forward. You can't go backwards. So, your pick for tonight: Philly or Atlanta? Don't tell Diego because he's a Falcons fan. He's the other room. But I'm honestly, with my football mind, I'm gonna have to pick Philly. Don't tell him that though. Don't let him know. But Philadelphia. Um, thanks for the responses, Dizzy. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for literally everything. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys make all this possible. I'm just a guy running my mouth on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming through. I totally forgot he was a Falcons fan. Yeah. I can't really say expect Snapchats from Buffalo Wild Wings, but probably. Did you go to the first game? It looked like there was more Charger fans in the stadium. Yeah, there was. The rest were sure from Detroit. Lol. But yeah, I'm gonna head off. Gonna go watch Rams Saints and see what's going on with that craziness. But yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. I know I'm like trying to do my outro like 6 times and I keep rambling on. But you guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support. Follow my social medias. And see you on Tuesday when the next video uploads, when I kind of get my thoughts together and upload an actual video. So with that being said, y'all know the drill, right? I'm going to see you guys in the next one, and peace.